Hello and welcome to Dell's Gaming. I'm Dell and this is From the Depths. And we are actually in the designer with the Atlantis. This is the current version of the Atlantis that is in the campaign. The reason we're here is this is going to be the next ship which is going to be fighting against the Onyx Watch. But it needs some work. There's some serious work. Now, we'll do with the first starting for all of this bit. This is going to be most probably a reasonable large build over a couple of parts. So you can go and look at the other parts that you might want to go and see. Also, there'll be time codes down below in the discussion if you just want to look at particular parts of this build rather than the complete build itself, just to see what I'm doing. I most probably won't put this one up onto Steam, because it's more my own little personal ship, and also the idea I've got doesn't really lend itself ideally to Steam. So, okay, with all that said, if you're still watching and want to see what I have an idea for, so what we got to think of is somebody likes to watch. You've got some very big ships with some very big guns which fire very big shells, which does very big amounts of damage, and our poor little ship, well, I don't call it ship, it's fortress. Our fortress, that's the right word. Our poor little fortress is too little, so we need to make it bigger. What size is it at the moment? It's 3,500 blocks, which is not really big enough. Now, block count wise, we haven't got to worry. This is going to be the only ship in the fleet, except maybe for a recon balloon up the top, which never actually spawns in, but it's going to be the only ship. And it's going to be built around this central part. We might change the shape of it a little bit, but that will be fine. So we've got to have some good defences. At the moment it's got a bit of shields around some of the key points. The main deck here isn't that well defended, a bit of wood and a bit of metal, so that needs up arming as such. Doubling up on there, I think. The engine, if we go down below, the engines are in here. It's an okay engine. I think it's one of my, it possibly could do with a bit of a rework. It's an older design, I think. So possibly I can make that a little bit more efficient and get a bit more power. I might also have a second engine in here somewhere, or second or third engine, because we've got plenty of room. We've got some things like crystal creators and other bits and pieces which I can get rid of for this particular ship. I think now we shouldn't need any of these parts to it. The resource gatherers, I'll leave them in there just for the moment. Why not? They're not really doing any harm. If we're in a resource centre earlier, why not? Defences so far at the moment. We have a couple of, if I go back to my thing here, I might be able to control some of them. No, we can't actually from here. We've got a couple of missile bays under here, just underneath. One's anti-ship, longish range, and one's an anti-air specifically, so only targets air targets. We've got some short-range missile battery just here. This is just a whole load of short-range missiles. And then we've got a couple of short-range, up to like less than 400 metre laser guided short-range missiles, basically, only aimed at firing quickly. They're only 3 blocks. Some of them look a little bit wrong. One of them there doesn't seem to have any items on it. It's just yeah. Don't know why that was, but hey ho, never mind. That one wasn't going very far. It's nothing like a slightly wrong design, never mind. So a couple of very short range missile blocks, and I had actually put up here and only one's spawned in, but never mind, a couple of sort of auto cannons just for fun. Effectiveness very little, fun quota very high, so they're quite good for flying vehicles. They're not that accurate, but as I say, they're good fun to watch going around, and if something gets close enough, great. So its main weaknesses, we have one more large pop-up missile system. infrared, long range missiles. I can't remember the exact range of them. Well, let's see, what did we set them at? About 1700, so they're very long range missiles, but not many more heads, not very many warheads. It just pops up a little bit. If we just let's just bring in something just to see how it does against something small. Telemachus, that shouldn't pose too much problem. Right, so first thing I've got to do, there we go, that's popping up. Go off the weapons. My character's a little bit in the way at the moment. There we go. So I can see at this longer range, that's the only thing that's firing. What range have we got? So this is a little combat test to see how good or bad this is. And we are at a range of 1300. So we need something that's got a little bit more range. If they've got guns that can fire at this sort of range, they're going to be blasting the crap out of us, basically. Originally this was just going to sit back at this long range and fire these missiles. Maybe we needed to convert some of these into torpedoes a little bit, but they're doing okay. Yeah, actually they did okay on that. Let's bring something else in. Something that would give us a problem. We won't go Kingston, that's a little too much. Stalwart, that's a longish range. This could give us some issues. You can see it's already firing, and we're going to have some problems potentially against this. Our missiles are firing out at him, which is something, but yeah. They're firing at us and we're not really replying quick enough. Our missiles will not get there, and yeah, we're not going to be able to defend against that. We've done a repair, although the repair bots seem to have, I don't know if these are actually repairing, these repair bots. They seem to not move from this position, or just move very slightly. So does that mean they're working or not? I don't know, actually, if these repair bots are working or not. It's mainly my character. If I turn off my character's building, let's see if we get any repairs happening to this vessel. Anywhere? Does anything get repaired? Can't see those blocks coming back yet. And now my missiles are fairly much out of it, so we're seeing that how bad the defences are on this. So what we've got to improve. So okay, yeah, and they're moving now. See, look, they are going places. They're going down here. They're going in here to repair things, but they're not repairing things on the outside. Oh, one of them here has now got moved. They seem to take their time though. They didn't seem to immediately move. They seem to take their time to decide to go out and start repairing the ship, which is not great. I don't know why that is. Okay, I'll put just help on that. So we're not doing too well, and ultimately we've not got something which is being adequately offensive enough to, certainly at longer range, to defend against this ship. I think also I need to bring these missiles through. Let's just go back here. Let's just aim. No, I am aimed at it. I wonder whether these had a very short range. They've just got. You can see they've got blown up basically. So that's no good. He has now gone into range of these other missile system, but he's basically kicked our butt for most of this. And we don't seem to have any other defences at this time. Okay, right, well, we'll leave that. So what have we got to provide, and what the ideas I've got? That's the main bit. So what I'm going to do, this will be still the central structure. We might change the shape of the front a little bit, just to fit things in. We'll up armour everything, maybe keep some of the wood up on there as ablative, but put an extra layer of metal everywhere. especially on the central area where my guys sit. These, we might get rid of these small towers that were on the side. We may raise them up, remove them or raise them up, or put them in a different position so that they are still there for a close range, but maybe just put them at a slightly different level. Then we're going to build some defences that go around the outside, the front and the sides. Now, the idea I've got is a more modular design of using spawners and docking stations to hold items in place, very similar to what we did with the carrier, except these items will be use the vehicle spawner instead, and they won't be vehicles. They're going to be basically they'll be self-contained vehicles, but they won't have any movement. They will just be totally dependent upon the docking. And what we'll do is we're going to have various types of units, everything from cannon, missiles, defense, etc., all just I'm not going to say hanging off the side, I think that's a bit too much. What we're going to do is build some areas that they will dock into. And then we'll set the spawner and the docking station to have, oops, that's the wrong one. If I go down to a docking station, let's go down to a docking station, something like here. And then with the, right, well that's not working. Okay, well, tractor beam. Okay, sorry, we'll set the tractor beam to hold them at the right place, etc. Yep, I was in the right place, sorry. And then we'll use something like, if I go into build mode, if I go to miscellaneous, the sub-vertical spawner, which looks, if we turn it the right way, there we go, looks like this. What you do is you select a vehicle, which we haven't got in at the moment, and then you set its spawn distance to be, in its direction, etc., etc., for when it spawns in, and that spawns in at the same time as the vehicle, so it becomes part of the vehicle. Now, if we put that right next to the, or even on top of the blueprint spawner, the docking station, and we'll put it right next to it, and work out the distances. It means when it spawns in, this will automatically lock onto that item and hold it in exactly the right position straight away. And what we'll do is we'll set this down below, somewhere here, so it locks it in position here and then goes to the top, and we'll use an origin block to ensure that we know exactly where these items are being locked into. Okay, it did actually get that Stalwart in the end. We did take a lot of damage, but it did take it out in the end. Very much, I'm doubtful against that Stalwart isn't that powerful. Sometimes you might get 2 or more of them. So yes, we did take it out in the end, but that's more luck, I think, than anything else. But okay, well, it's not that bad a ship after all, but it's going to take quite a few repairs to get it back operational. Okay, so let's just go through some of it. So that's the general idea, is creating generic areas. So let's start with a simple one which would have helped here, and that's going to be a cannon area. Now what I'm thinking is, if we're going to need to set an area up, so let's just a standard size that these will all go. So let's say we wanted to create, first of all, we're going to create some long-range defensive cannons, which will go, say, about here. We'll dock them somewhere off of this position here. We'll work out the exact position for the docking later, but I may create an area just underneath here to hold it, the docking area, and then pull it in at a suitable distance. So let's say just put something in as a placeholder for where it's going to go and how big it's going to be. If we say it goes there, then I'm going to make this relatively square. So 3x3 maybe. This is only just for sizing purposes rather than anything else. So yeah, this will be removed later. This is more marking an example of where this will go rather than anything else. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. So we've got this internal area is where it will be spawned in, and we'll have it duplicated on the other side. So we've got, now we do have to allow a little bit of a gap, because if there's not a gap, then you tend to find it all goes a bit crazy. So just to work out our actual area, let's say we've got that one. Let's just do this with blocks. So I can be, I'll just create some stone blocks just so that it's right. That's the corner point. Corner, corner, corner. Just making this the same all the way around, just because I have to, otherwise I will just, it will not compute in my head. I will just fail, and that won't be good. And okay, so next we've got, how big is this area? 1, 2, okay, so if we go like this, that way, 1, 2, and then a corner. To this way. In fact, we can just duplicate what we've done here, that way. Just so what I'm getting here is the size of our spawn area, so we don't go bigger than we need. So that if we go too big, it's suddenly gonna not spawn in. Okay, that looks like we've got what is going to be the eventual module size, and we can use this. So that's not too bad actually. So we can say basically, except for the we obviously also have to up armor this as well. We need to get some. Oh, just think. Okay, I've got an idea of the size. I know. So it's 2 blocks by 2 blocks on the center, 8 blocks in the center. So it's not going to have an exact center point. We might be able to change that a little bit by making it an odd number, and maybe increase this just a tad, just to get us so we get a center point mixed on that. Okay, other little bit. I'm just going to detach that so that it all comes disappears off. Other little bit is ammunition, energy, all that type of thing is all going to be electrically powered and supplied by the central vehicle. So the main Atlantis will have some chargers. So basically, let's just put everything together. Near the point where this joins, we will end up having a docking station, a sub-vehicle spawner. Which way is that pointing? There we go. We will also have, under engines, we'll have a generator. Let's see, where's our generator? We'll end up with a generator or 2 here. So that's sending any electrical requirement to that for shielding or any other type of item. It'll have electric engines inside itself purely for batteries and battery chargers, and electric engine for providing power internally. What else would we need? We would need, under resources, a resource supply pump, and that would pump basically ammo into the vehicle. So the ammo, this actual supply pump, if we go back into there, supply pump allows transfer of resources to and from vehicles. So we basically just make sure there's one of these on the supply pump on each vehicle. So we create one here. So I think it's got a range of supply pump maximum range. It's actually 500. So to be honest, we can mostly just need one at the back here, which we already have. So we have one back here, and we just need one on the actual vehicle itself to accept it, and then that way it'll get ammo, any ammo resupply. It doesn't have to have its own ammo supplies, more than enough to do a single battery fire. Okay, that's the idea. So let's start with a big cannon to go here. It's got a pretty good range. So this is going to be, it may possibly look at this being its main cannon armament, fitting either here or just to the side. Either maybe a single gun. I'm actually now thinking this could be just a really big gun, just a nice big gun. Yes, why not? So, and we're going to fit it in. So, first thing, it's going to be a new object, a new vehicle. So we're going to have to go off to the side of it. We'll put a block in, the magic block, and then we'll use this as a starting point, and then we're going to go. We're going to use some metal because we can, and we're going to go. We've got 2 blocks in either way was our area, so we've got 2 that way, and and then a down like that, or an up, or I'm just going to do it up for the moment like that, and then we would effectively have the same here. So we'll put a mirror line in. Right, because we're not actually going to be even here. We're going to, I want it to make it so I'm going to make it slightly longer than that, so we're not going to go quite that width, just because. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can make it a little bit wider actually. Let's do it this way. There we go, that's our centre area, our base area of our ship. We can, where we have room to put places, so we'll use that on all of the modules as our base sort of item, and it also gives us roughly a center point. We are slightly left forward front center point out, so it's not exactly a rectangle, exactly a square, but I think I'm okay with that. Right, so we're going to create a big gun. Let's just create the gun first, allowing that the underneath cannot be any bigger than this, but that's quite a big area. Let's just create and height wise, we've got this, we're looking at this sort of height, and we could even go lower down if we wanted to. We do have to we need to armor this as well, so because there's nothing worse than being targeted, getting hit through the side, and it takes out all of the internals of the gun, so we do have to watch out for that. And we've got to put everything into this, including its own AI, its own power, which will be batteries. But we can do that underneath, so we'll think about using some of the underneath area on this. Now, which way is our forward? Actually our forward's that way. That's interesting. Right, okay, that's an issue because our forward's there, not that way. Do I go with that or change it? No, can't be having that. My brain cannot handle the concept of the centre not being the centre. So okay, we're going to have to let's see. We're going to make, which is now the centre block. We'll modify this. Right, okay, so that there, and we're going to have to go this way. we go. And add another block here. Okay. So that's my center block. Yes, I know I'm going mad. I don't need to do all of this, but we're now going to have to change the center line to be this way. There we go. Oh, okay, that's fine. So that. Okay, better. Now I know which way is facing forward. Okay, I'm feeling better about that. Right, we'll start with the new object, the turret. Precision turret. Okay. And we will put some extra armor on the front, assuming that's going to be the biggest target. Put some of that there, and then we'll go for, I think I'd rather have multiple turrets rather than a turret that's trying to do too much. So let's just make just one good big gun. I think would be a good plan. So custom cannon, 6-way connector. Yeah, as always, I start it and I think, well, maybe a dual cannon would be better. But you know the cannon we just did on the, what was it, the battle cruiser? I'm thinking making an up cannon version of that. So a slightly bigger version of that for the Atlantis. So we'll see what we're going to come up with. So let's say that's underneath, that's 6, that's going to be all 4 bits underneath. We've then got 1, 2 for armor. Then we've got the actual main gun itself, which we're going to go back. How far can we go back? We're going to go back to there. We're going to assume it's aimed at the enemy, so we'll go back 1 more, and then up and around. So we will now add our connector in. Custom cannon. Our firing piece. In there we go. Now, it's going to be a biggish cannon for firing at big ships. Something like this. Recoil, we'll put recoil suppression in here. Right, seeing what that's given us. That's given us 80. Let's go for a bit more. 45, we'll go down to a 30 degree. Let's just go for 30 degrees on this. 30 degrees. Okay, what's the accuracy on that? 1.3. We might increase that a little bit more. Let's have a look. If I put another motor and no, 2 more motors and then 2 of these. 2 more recoil. So it's not going to be a sniper gun, but 0.76. Happy with that. That's not too bad. Yes, I should really put those motor drivens up there, and what I will do is this, and do shift. Okay. Are there, and then let's put them into there. Okay, so that's sorted out the recoil. Yeah, some people prefer using the keyboard there. It is handy for doing things like that. Okay, now what we'll do is this will also go forward a bit. 1, 2. There we go. A little bit more. The rest of it will be armour on the turret. We can go out a little bit because we've got all this area to use for turret. So we'll assume we're going to make a slightly squarer turret and add some extra items in there just to hold a little bit more. I think we can go out 3 on each of these and put some barrel, ammo and other items on there. We want this to be relatively armoured on the front at least, just so that it doesn't get taken out straight away. Okay, now we're going to have here armour below. I'm just going to put some stone blocks here just as a note. So this will be armour from the deck from coming up here. This will go, it's not a good one, let's go from here onto the hull. There we go. To basically that's what we're looking at potentially. Let's go back onto this. Okay, something in that particular fashion will be our top deck armour of this system coming up on either side. So we'll just do that on the same on the other side so that we can see it in operation. We can see what my theory actually is here rather than anything else. And you can see it also gives me a gauge for when I'm building. Okay, so now ammo and stuff. Now, based upon what happened before with the last time the gun I did on this, I didn't really give it enough ammo. So we'll sort out the ammo loaders first. Am I on? Yep, let's get onto this here. Right, we'll sort out ammo loaders at the bottom first. Just to see how many ammo boxes we really need to get our rate up to a pretty good. Now, to be honest, on this we haven't got any gauges on this at the moment, so I'm going to go and do that next. What rate's that giving us? 0.1. Okay, so that's quite good. Now let's put some gauges on there. Now, how many gauges can we put on this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's an 8 gauge gun. No, I want more than that. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So that's going to be a 14 gauge gun, which to me that's like battleship class guns. 14 gauge. So what's that firing rate at now? 0.47. With an armour piercing a 3. Okay, that's not recoil 246, not too bad. Inaccuracy 0.53. Okay, that's good. Now that's going to also have a nice long range, I think. So that will be our starting point for this. Let's just check. What was that rate of fire? 0.47. If I take off a couple of these, does that affect it? 0.47. Still 0.47. Still 0.47. That one's gone down. So let's just see if this is as many as we need. So if I do like that, wrong box. Is that as many as we need? No, we need some more. That's only giving us 0.59. So it's actually numbers of those and not the ammo boxes. So if I take them off there and just go R1, I'm just interested. 1.4. 0.159. 0.47. Okay, so that's how many it needs, but it needs those recoil boxes. Okay, that's fine. I think I'll put those in here because it will just add up the area. Now, what we can do we've got room at the back. Because we've got all of this room, we can now fill up with ammo and HE, but we do want to allow a little bit for what's the right word? Armor. We don't want this to be quite so badly connected. Now what we can do is this. Now what I'm doing is I'm creating some, for want of a better word, stalks to put things onto. So if I can go out as far as I want to go, so they become our far limit. So I want to armor here, and here one level of armor, and there and there. So that's where we're going to go. The idea being that we're going to, if I go back to editing the hull, there we go, this will have some more armor on the center, on either side. Which one shall I'll just put it in there so we can see, and make sure we're not going too far, and make sure it still turns once we've finished this, because it would be annoying if after we've done this the turret doesn't turn. That would be very bad. So what we can do is use these stalks to now put extra items on. So let's start with custom cannons. We're going to go with some more ammo at the bottom, just to basically, so that we aren't going to be running out of ammo anytime soon. Oops, need to make sure I am editing that. There we go. 2, 3. I'm sure there might be some slightly more effective ways of doing this, but this will be good enough. Now looking at it, we actually have less. We've only got one there, so at the front we actually have to take that down. Otherwise, if it tried to go 360, it would catch. So that's our limit on that side, because at the front we are going to have, I'll put this in, that amount of armor. We did say when I started this, I'm going to up armor the front a little bit. Okay. Bit more. Let's put some more ammo boxes in here. So this whole top section is ammo boxes. Okay, that's cool. Right, now that's very explosive, and it's potentially going to create, if this is going to blow, it's going to blow. Let's go for explosive next. I think if it's going to blow, there's not a lot we're going to really be able to do against it, to be frankly honest. I don't know why Frank is more honest than anyone else, but we have to be frankly honest about this. And have we gone too wide here? 2 we have, actually. That's got to come down here as well. Otherwise it would not turn 360 when it gets there. So that's the largest point of our turn. Okay. What HE is that giving us? 265? Yeah, we could do a little bit better, I think. 359. Okay, let's now get our armor piercing up. Now we can use some of the space up here for the armor piercing. The good bit about armor piercing is, as far as I'm aware, they don't explode, is number one, but I could be wrong on that. They also, just looking at here, EM, they're not susceptible to EM, which is also good. They haven't got exactly much armor, so there's no advantage in that. Okay, that's fine. Well, they'll be good enough for what we are doing here. Let's put some in and see what effect it has. You know, armor piercing, where do we need? It'd be nice to get around, you know, the 12 mark or something like that. So sure it's a little bit more difficult to bring that menu up now. There we go. Where are you? There you go. 11.5 needs a bit more. Oops, let's just put a predictor in here before I forget. I'm going to put a predictor in there. There we go. So more, we need more armor piercing. 12.4. That's good. Like that. No problems with that. So that means down the bottom here, we can just make this all HE. And maybe some more ammo boxes. So that it can continue to fire with, we'll put some ammo boxes on the top actually, just so it can continue to fire just about no matter what, without having to reload. Okay, so that's the primary gun. Now what I'm doing now, just quickly, and I will time lapse this, is we will armour the turret itself, and I'm going to do the extension and build up around the turret to protect the gun itself. So we'll build the gun, the armour around here, and also the base unit, and I'm going to have to create one more area below to start putting all of the AI and other bits, although actually the AI can go here. We can quickly do that actually if the AI is, because all we need to do is AI local weapon controller, say just let's go onto the hull here, and then an AI mainframe behind. That's the minimum we need, but I want to put some targeting, etc. So not targeting is the wrong word. If I change that mainframe to go AI mainframe here, then put a front and back card in there, I can then put target prioritization and aim point selection. There we go. That will make that a little bit more accurate. Down here we'll have to put, or maybe underneath here we'll put a few ammo barrels and then cover them with metal to have enough just to give it some ammo supply, and also the batteries and anything else that's needed for it. We'll also be looking at shields. So let me do this armoring, and we will be back in a short while. Hello and welcome back. And we've got the two new cannon pods docked quite nicely in their own little bays next to us. Just to go over them quickly, we've got I think it was a 14 gauge gun on top with fairly good figures, not too bad if I do say so. So we've got a 12.4 with 400 damage, pretty good in accuracy, 0.53 reload time. We'll see what the ammo situation is, and I have just remembered something I have not put on this, so let me just add that in now. I haven't put I don't think I put in a supply pump. So if I go resources, supply pump, then we'll just find somewhere to put that down here just to ensure that it can receive supplies. There we go. I think we only need one, and I'll do the same on the opposite side. I think I just did that one, so let's go and have a look in here. So that's the only bit I can think of to do. Right, if anyone watched the previous little bit, I had a bit of a bug when I was trying to retrofit these two items, so I've ended up having to redo a whole load of the actual Atlantis bit, but not too much. It left me in a situation where I couldn't select anything. I couldn't get out of the refit window. I could get into save, but that's it, and it all just went a little bit buggy. I actually have to quit out and cut the game. So that's something to be aware of. But okay, so the basics of how this works. Now that these are docked, so we have they are set as being in a dock situation. I've taken them into both situations, for both sides. I have a control block that every 3 seconds tells that particular docking one to redock everything. And they are also taken using the sub-vehicle spawner just down here. As we can see, there's a taken on each of them. Now, other bits we've got lots of generators here, which are supplying to lots of what's the right word? Lots of chargers which are in each of the pods. So making sure that we can connect and power as many. Now we've got 10 on each side, so really I've gone for about 1 to 1, and that seems to be keeping their shields up and fully active. There doesn't seem to be any blip in the shields. As we add more shields to more areas, we can increase this. I haven't put I've put shields on the gun. The basic idea being it'll aim at the target, and then that will sort of shield the gun from any incoming fire. It's not 100% shielded. I could bring that back a little bit more, save a bit of power, or add an additional one in maybe to cover the top, but we'll see how vulnerable it is. Now for a little bit of combat testing. So let's just do something nice and simple just to get the aiming up. So let's just give ourselves some oh no, before we do that, how this works with them all docked and spawned. If we now take out the Atlantis, you'll notice the Atlantis has now unspawned as such. Let me just get this in here so it's facing the right way. And I want it at altitude of 0, facing back this way. Okay, hopefully that'll be where it is. Now, when this spawns in, because those vehicles are part of a sub-vehicle spawner, what they should do is they will spawn in with the Atlantis, and then the docking stations will grab them and they'll go back into their docked position. So they'll go into the position as when they were saved. So that should work quite nicely, or is working, as you can see, quite nicely with each of those. So they will spawn in with the Atlantis. Okay, let's go for that little battle test. So just a quick little Marauder, just to hopefully see how, if these guns will fire and how they fire. There we go. Nice little, what's the range we've got here? We have got a nice little 1,000-meter range. They're coming in with some pretty decent shots there, if I do say so. That's not bad at all. We've got there just exactly with the sort of thing we were after. Long range cannon fire. Excellent. They did quite well. They got there before the missiles did. The missiles would be coming in now if it was something a little bit bigger. Okay, and ammo wise, they're being restocked automatically. So we'll go back here. We should find that if I now take over this vessel, we can see down there the ammo is getting restocked from the main ship. Power wise, its power is stable, going up a little bit. It seems to have got itself a little bit moved off angle. No, that's fine. That's fine in a battle. If it moves around a little bit, that's going to be sort of allowable. We might put something in there that just possibly flicks the docking on and off, maybe occasionally, just so that everything will redock properly. Again, that might be something we'll have to do just as a test. But you can see the power's being regenerated slowly. Yep, power's going back up, so that's cool. That's good. That's all working. So that was a little Marauder. Let's give ourselves something a little bit bigger. An Onyx watch. What did we use last time? We used a Stockade. So let's do another Stockade and see if it's a little bit more effective on the cannon fire. So there we go. We've got one aiming in now, and we have plenty of shots coming in. I just do that and apply dock on each of them, and we'll go and check, make sure that there's the missiles coming in. Yep, we can see that is just quite happily fired them, and I just pulling that back in, just pulled it in. You can see it's flicking around a little bit. That is a problem. That does seem to affect it on occasion, but luckily it does continue to fire. If you get those, try and wedge it too close into the ship, it starts going a little crazy. But that did quite nicely. That has mauled that Stalwart quite nicely, well before the missiles got there. The missiles are now doing their job and getting in there, doing random blocks, lots of damage. They're not an ideal missile, but that's good. Yeah, first item for the Atlantis. Now, what is next? My thoughts are is a missile pod around the back, which will be a mass missile. We've got these ones here, which are quite good, but a little slow, some ones. Now, what if we did another missile pod around the back, just have a go at it. Similar basis, similar sort of side, maybe not as deep, but similar sort of, similar vein, that goes behind here, vertical launch for targets out to roughly the same 1,000 meters to 1,200 meters. It might be a rapid fire infrared launch missiles. Other possibility is, instead of going there, is to go in front here, and the reason for going in front will be clear in a second, but go in the front here and produce a laser guided infrared missile system. The reason for we've already got infrareds here and here and here, but if a ship has got some sort of missile defense, such as flares or decoys, our missiles will have no effect whatsoever. So it might be worth creating a out of the way of these guns, but somewhere in this area, chop a corner off here somewhere to house it, but a small pair of missile pods, vertical launch missile pods with laser guided missiles to aim at specific parts and try and get their way through. Maybe they are 16 or so missiles. So that could be what we'll do in the next episode. So anyway, that's our ship as it is at the moment. So hope you enjoyed that. Any comments or any ideas, please put them down below. And part 2 will be coming up very soon, hopefully. Until next time, have fun.